Welcome again, Virgo. It's July 2018. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. Your ruling planet is Mercury, and this month you can see, at least for the first part of it, it's going to be in the close company of what looks like some headphones here. This is actually a very important point in the zodiac, what we call the North Node, the karmic point or the destiny point. And along with Venus, these three planets in your 12th house. This is the 12th piece of the space-time pie, or the 12th house of the zodiac. And what this shows us is your very deeply reflective circumstance right now. Your state of mind is deeply reflective, and it's considering the important things in your life right now. Those things that are going to make a big difference to your life path. You have to be careful that this is not based upon what we see opposite here. The strong conjunction of the past karma point Mars and the instinctive moon. Often what happens here is that there's a knee-jerk reaction to all of this stuff. Mars is retrograde right now. And what could happen there if you're not happy in the work that you're doing? You may actually opt to bail out. So make sure if you're contemplating, you contemplate long enough before you make your decisions. The other thing with this is when there's a connection of Mercury to the north or the south node, and then of course in the opposition to Mars, there can be a very highly nervous or almost hysterical state of mind. It's fortunate that this is the low-key part of the zodiac, so you need not advertise this. You just keep this to yourself. You may need to be off in a quiet location where you can work through some of the issues, and don't rush. As I said, you need to work at your own pace, and even if you feel like doing something at the drop of a hat, it's best to wait and allow things to, just settle before you come to any conclusions. We can see as the month starts, the moon in the 6th house, indicating health, work issues, and then on the 3rd, moving into this idealistic position with Neptune. It swings up around here, so all your relationships are strongly focused, as are the intimate aspects of your relationship by the moon moving in this 8th house. Sudden journeys perhaps after the 8th, when the moon makes contact with Uranus and then upward there into the upper part of your horoscope, the career sector. Now notice also when we talked about journeys, when moon was moving here, there was simultaneously at the same time ruler of your 9th house of journeys, Venus, just moving into your sun sign. That's great for developing and projecting, a very attractive persona. People will like you. This is a very sociable combination, and one that also gives you the opportunity to beautify yourself, to showcase what you can look as at your best, to be your best. So the moon in Gemini here gives you a split mind over some of your work during this movement around the 10th and the 11th. But there's a new moon taking place here in your 11th house, and this can, to a large extent, there it is there, on the 13th, give you a shot in the arm to really seek out new people, new friendships, new opportunities. It's really an area that doesn't only relate to your social activities, but very much relating to your ideals in life and what it is you wish to achieve. It moves back into this low-key area that we mentioned about your ruler. So you may be, again, self-reflective around the 14th and 15th. This is lovely, the moon and Venus together on the 16th, 17th. Makes you a little bit emotional, but don't let that bother you as it moves there into the 2nd house of finances around the 18th. money and debts may be part of the picture as this square takes place here. Look at this, to Saturn in the 5th house. This is the speculative area of the zodiac, and you'll notice straight after, 3 or 4 days later, just keep your eye here on the Sun, it will move into the 12th house of expenses. And I overlooked to mention that that is also another factor in your ruling planet being in the 12th house. Now, these are, here it is, these are charitable acts, overspending and undoing oneself through basically unbridled expenditure. It's important that you don't go overboard. You need to really carefully look at your budgets at this time and make sure that there's a sufficient balance between what you're spending and what you're earning. You could feel a little down with the moon touching Saturn here around the 25th, but by the same token, there may be some passionate desires associated with romance while it moves through that sector. Back again here into the same area that we started the month, and this is the full moon phase, so it's even more powerful in terms of your workplace activities. It showcases again the excessive nature of your spending, not just financially. I think this also has much to do with the emotional nature and the emotional giving the time. These are the other commodities or resources that we often overlook, but time is money. So you've got to get that right, Virgo, to make sure that you're on top of everything, particularly arriving at the end of the month, as we see here on July 31st, with the moon back in touch with idealistic Neptune in your zone of relationships. Take a quick look, if not a little bit longer, at astrology.com.au for a more extrapolated version of what's going on. You might find it interesting as well, if you want to get a more personalised view of what's happening in your life, to have your horoscope done by a qualified astrologer. Myself or some of my colleagues there at the site are ready, willing and able to assist you if you've got any sort of ticklish problem. And I look forward to that, as I do seeing you again next month. Bye-bye for now.